Hello, this is Giselle Gamby from the Intuitive Pull podcast. We are now in season 5 as we are on the home run for 2024. The next episodes will be daily episodes until the 31st of December 2024, all dedicated to you coming to full and complete resolution around the places within you and the places in your life that are unresolved. Hello again. Welcome back to now episode 9 of the Unresolved series. You will need to have listened to the previous episode where I spoke about a model that came to me about 3 months ago, the model of the 3 essential elements and how they all need to work together: fear, fire, and faith. So just imagine 3 circles, 2 circles on the bottom that are interlinked, fear and fire, and then a 3rd circle above, interlinked with the element of faith. Yesterday, we talked about the essential element of fear. And now I want to talk about the essential element of fire in the context of experiencing transformation that is lifelong and life-lasting, not just transformation that you experience for a while and then you loop back. Again, bringing what is unresolved to complete freedom and resolution. And again, if you go back to the episode with Malcolm Quinn, which was episode 7, I believe, his story and his wife's story, Leah, who I've been coaching and who is now cancer-free, are just the most immaculate demonstrations of the 3 elements of fear, fire, and faith all working together to bring completion around past traumas that had been swept under the carpet, playing out in their own way until they no longer were, and also in the subject matter of cancer and how stage 4 cancer, which was deemed to be largely incurable, came to a point of freedom. So let's talk about the essential element of fire. So when we think about fire, it's the element of agency. It's the element where we take 100% personal responsibility. It's the element that allows us in our human form to make decisions, to make choices, to have conviction, to be unequivocal about what it is that we choose. It's the element where we experience provocation. It's the element where we experience being disturbed, agitated, frustrated. It's the element where we experience being shaken up. It's the element that is so important to experiencing long-term change. Without fire, we have no power. Without fire, we make no decisions. We make no choices. There is no conviction. We don't have the ability to work with that feeling of agitation and disturbance and provocation in a positive way. So let's just look at, we talked about fear yesterday. Let's just look at, if we have fear without fire, what happens? So just imagine, I always imagine the 3 circles when I'm speaking this out. The left circle, fear, the right circle, fire. Just imagine if fear is existing on its own. Actually, let me say this. Let's just imagine that the only circle in your line of sight right now is fear. Fire and faith do not exist. Fear is the only element that exists in your world just for this moment. What would it feel like if fear is the only element? Fire and faith are absent. It's a world of terror. Fear alone is a world of terror, which is why we need the element of fire. So let's just have a look at fear without fire. What happens when we have fear without fire? Fear without fire is devoid of the decision and the capacity to transform. There is no decision and there is no capacity to transform without fire. If you think about fear and fire existing, yet in our human form, we are simply orientating from fear and we are not picking up the stake of fire, we're not picking up that baton, there's an unconscious choice going on of indecision and apathy. So fire is there. It's an element to orientate from, but we're not engaging the element of fire, but we are orientating from fear. There's an unconscious choice, just feel into it underneath, of indecision and apathy. And here we deny our agency. We deny our capacity to change. We deny our creativity. We deny our ability to make better and more loving choices for ourselves. We deny who we are. We deny that we are God in human form. And we deny our ability to claim our own ray amongst all the rays that make up the sun. We deny our own unique expression and contribution to the world. Yesterday, I was speaking to somebody who's actually committed to the program that I am offering whilst I am on this obsession, in this obsession to bring resolution to what has been unresolved. And yesterday we had our first session. And she was saying to me that she feels like that her absence in a group wouldn't actually make any difference. In other words, that her presence really doesn't matter. And I love this woman, and I know this woman, and I know her superpowers. And I just asked her for a moment, what if this were true instead of what you just said? What if the absence of your presence actually created its own outcome? And that is that the creation that could have been does not happen because of your absence. And she said to me, I've never thought about it that way. So when we orientate in fear and we do not claim our true nature that exists within the element of fire, we do not claim our ability to make decisions, to make choices. We do not claim our ability to have agency. We deny that we are our own unique ray that makes up all the rays amongst the sun, and the sun doesn't shine as brightly as a result of that. And ultimately, we deny our potential for love. We deny our ability to be love, to express love in our leadership of ourselves and in our leadership of others. That's what happens with the element of fire when it is not engaged and we are orientating only in fear. Now let's have a look at fire without faith. So we're experiencing fire, but we are not experiencing faith. Faith being actually the place where we have humility. I always thought until a few weeks ago that the first step in experiencing lifelong transformation is taking 100% personal responsibility for the choices we've made that have led to a certain reality, to us experiencing a certain reality. I have thought that to be true for the last 20 years. However, a few weeks ago, I realized it's actually not the first step to experiencing life-lasting transformation. Humility is the ability to let go, the ability to stop holding on, the ability to stop defending, the ability to stop resolving and cajoling and doing the things that we do to make ourselves better and think that we're shifting through, but really we haven't, because we're still holding on and we're still defending. So the element of faith, humility exists in the element of faith. Humility says that actually we don't know. We don't know the way through. And when we don't know the way through, it doesn't mean that we're powerless. It means that there's a certain humbleness. There's a certain allowing. There's a certain ability to see that perhaps the universe, God, has our backs and is orchestrating everything on our behalf, including the shitty stuff that doesn't feel very good, in order for us to go into the element of fire and to make the decisions that we are being called to make in order to experience this long-lasting transformation and freedom and lightness and authenticity and new energy. So when we are experiencing fire without faith, we're just in fire. There is an unconscious choice that we're making underneath that, and the choice is one of control. We believe that we are the one in control. When we are only orientating from fire and not faith, we believe that we are the one in control. And when we believe that we are the one in control and we're operating from fire, in other words, control, this is a paradigm that is devoid of magic, of grace, and of miracles. And really, it's where most of the Western world orientate from. When we are orientating only from fire, without the element of faith, and believing that we are the one in control, we are only orientating from this human form, from this personality. We are separate to anything else. We believe that life is linear. We believe that what we do is responsible for the results that we receive. We don't have any other consideration that perhaps there's an orchestration that's happening, that there's divine architecture to our lives, that there's a bigger picture unfolding, that even our home runs, as I spoke to before, are even greater home runs than the ones that we believed we were going for. We believe that we're just walking in life in this human suit bag, doing the do, and this is all there is. And thus we need to control. And that is a very limiting reality. So, in summary, fear without fire is devoid of decision and agency. Fire without faith is devoid of magic and miracles and grace. Fear with fire is a wonderful combination because we pick up the baton of agency, of personal responsibility, of power, of decision making and conviction that we are choosing to make change around this experience that we're having of ourselves or of reality. I will see you tomorrow when we talk about faith, the third element of this diagram, fear, fire, and faith, that really, when they work together in unison, create the transformation that we are all seeking, which is lifelong transformation because we are now free. Thank you.